my old hometown, picking up the years I leave behind. Getting in my car, I drive as memories fly by. Driving by the fields I used to run through, where you were chasing me. We were riding out under the bleachers.
Hola mis amores, this is Massi with Masparkle DiYs. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing some super cute fall Dollar Tree DIYs. I hope you enjoy it, and let's go ahead and start with the first tutorial. For the first project, I'm using a big glass jar from Dollar Tree and I'm giving it 2 coats of white paint. Now that the paint is completely dry, we are going to lay a strip of tape in the center of the jar. And this next piece of tape is going to be the spacer, so we are going to keep reusing it. Now place another strip of tape and remove the spacer. At this point, I noticed that I didn't need the spacer to be so long, so when I placed the spacer tape this next time, I made it smaller. Instead of keep going this way, I'm moving to the left side just in case I run out of space to make the last stripe even, so it will be on the back of the jar and not the front. This is what I was talking about. There's not enough space to add another piece of tape and make it even, so I just removed the last tape and put it in the middle. As you can see, the last 2 stripes are a little bit bigger than the rest, but it's okay because they are on the back of the jar. To paint the stripes, I'm using this vintage mustard color. I will leave all the information of the paint colors I used on today's video on the description box down below. After letting the paint dry for some time, I removed all the tape. I knew I was going to have some peeling, but I don't mind since I'll be sanding the jar at the end. Now, I do want to retouch the areas where the paint bleed a little bit as much as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect, we are just cleaning the edges a little bit. Because even after sanding the jar later on, you'll still be able to see it, and I want it to be as clean as possible. After all the little spots of paint I retouched are completely dry, I'm starting to place the horizontal stripes, repeating the same steps as before. Placing the tape, then the spacer tape, making my way up, then I'll give it 2 coats of the same paint.
I was lost or I was found, nothing ever in between, shedding tears or extremely happy.
Now that the paint is completely dry, I removed the tape. I had a lot of peeling in some areas, so I just retouched them with the same color.
Was in pieces. I told myself that was what I needed. The more I felt.
Once that was done, the last step is to place the tape exactly where we did the first time. You'll know where that is since it's all the white squares for the vertical tape. For the horizontal stripes, place them on the lighter squares. I didn't have any more tape, so I had to reuse some, so that's why you see that it has some paint. I wanted kind of an olive color paint, so I just mixed the vintage mustard, gray, and pumpkin orange paint. I then gave the squares 2 coats of paint. After making sure the paint is completely dry and I removed the tape, I sanded the jar going in the same direction with the sandpaper. If you don't want to sand your jar, you don't have to sand it, or you can just sand it a little bit, but I was going for a very distressed look, especially for fall. And I wrapped the whole top of the jar with Dollar Tree twine. These pumpkin picks are from Dollar Tree. I bought more of these. I love them so much. Love the quality and the color, but for this specific DIY, I wanted another color that wasn't orange. When the little pumpkins are completely dry, I put them back and I'm cutting the stem a little bit shorter. To finish everything and to make the vase look fuller, I also added some lamb's ear I already had. For the second DIY, I found these 3 wooden pumpkins at Dollar Tree. The first step is to remove the bottom piece. I also removed the bows and the burlap fabric. This would be the back, but since I'm painting it at the end, I need to remove it now. This is the side I'm using, so I'm removing the sticker. I went to Hobby Lobby the other day and I found this crafting paper book. I've always seen these books, but I've never found one that I love every single paper. They are $22, but I never pay full price at Hobby Lobby. I either use my 40% off coupon or wait for the week the item I want is on sale. I'll be using all these papers on my upcoming fall and Christmas DIY videos, so that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. These are the papers I'll be using on my pumpkins. This pumpkin paper is also from Hobby Lobby. It says 59 cents, but it was only 25 cents. I then traced the pumpkins and cut a little bit outside the lines. I glue the paper to the pumpkin with the spray glue, then I'm going to sand all the edges with the sandpaper. When sanding the edges, make sure you sand away from the paper, not towards the paper. Repeated the same steps on the other pumpkins. The next thing I'll be doing is using these Dollar Tree wooden letters. I wanted to spell the words pumpkin patch, so after finding the right letters, I glued them to the center of the bigger pumpkin with hot glue. Spray painted the bottom pieces with black spray paint. To make the bow for the bigger pumpkin, I used the Dollar Tree raffia hula skirt. I just cut a few strands and made a bow. For the 2 smaller pumpkins, I glued back the original bows. Applied A6000 and hot glue to the bottom pieces. On one, I'll be gluing the big pumpkin alone, and on the other one, the other 2 together. This step is optional, but I went ahead and painted the back of the smaller pumpkins. For the third DIY, I had this sign from Dollar Tree from last year. I removed all the glitter with the sandpaper. Painted front and back of the sign with white chalked paint. Once the paint is completely dry, I sanded all the edges. Found this burlap banner at Dollar Tree at the party section. I'm cutting 4 of these to fit the sign and use the same twine it comes in the bag to hang the sign. Now I'll be using the same spray from the previous DIY to glue the burlap to the sign. When using this spray to glue this type of material, you really want to use just a little bit now, and then we'll use a little bit more later. Now that everything is in place, you can go ahead and use more spray. This is not only going to glue it more, it's also going to prevent the burlap from shredding. I'm spelling the word fall with these Dollar Tree stickers. I found these super cute bows at Dollar Tree. As you can see, when I put it, it covers the letter, so I just cut the tails. And when I glue them back, I glue them more to the side, and then I glue the bow to the top.
You can write all the blue. I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you, and you save me too.
For the fourth DIY, I'm using a wine bottle. To make the hat, I'm using the same burlap from the previous DIY. Open a little hole in the center to insert the top of the bottle. Before I keep going with the hat, I cut a piece of the Dollar Tree raffia Hola skirt, twist and insert inside the bottle. Then gave a gentle tap so the raffia spreads inside the bottle. Left some of the raffia outside the bottle and I cut the tips a little bit. I put back the bottom piece of the hat I created before and added another piece of burlap to finish the hat. To make the shape I wanted, I glued the bottom front to the center piece. I decided to spray paint the eyes instead of painting them, so I just added some tape to spray paint the triangles for the little eyes, and then you'll see that I'm also going to spray paint the raffia on top. I went ahead and finished his face with other details. You can get very creative here. If you don't like these eyes, you can make your own, or you can add a different nose or maybe different colors. It's up to you.
Heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again. Driving is like a spiritual cleanse where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end. Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast.
I made a bow using the same raffia and glued it to the top, and added another bow I made using Dollar Tree ribbon.
Along the roads in Tennessee, dreaming of where we could be, from the back of your dad's red truck.
The last DIY, I already had these wooden sticks from an old closet door, but you can use painting sticks like this one or bigger, or any sticks similar to this ones. With the sandpaper, I removed some of the old paint it already had. Then I went ahead and stained 6 sticks with this classic gray wood stain.
For realizing my own dreams and taking care of you and me. I knew we were always gonna make it. Little did I know.
Once they were completely dry, I sanded the sticks, going in the same direction.
Where love could grow, but in a different way. Bigger than they'd say.
Place 4 sticks to make a square, then 2 in the center to complete the little window.
Capable of keeping track of how many nights.
Glue the sticks with E6000 and hot glue, and I let it dry for a few hours.
And the radio playing our soundtrack. Broken love, tequila and bluegrass.
The wreath and the little wooden truck are from Dollar Tree. This little truck is from last year. Dollar Tree does has new ones for this year, but I already had this one, so I just removed the tree. I then gave the truck 2 coats of this beautiful orange paint. Made a circle in the center of the wheels and painted them black. Also added highlights with a white chalk marker. Painted the door black, but I didn't really like it, so I went ahead and went with the gray color instead.
When we don't feel the same.
These 2 pumpkin picks are from Walmart and they were less than $1. attach them both to the wreath with a zip tie. Distressed the truck a little bit with the sandpaper, then added some details with a Sharpie and I will sand it again. I then glued the little car to the wreath. I added some greenery I already had. You can attach the wreath to the window using many things like command hooks, but I went with small picture hanging nails. To complete this DIY, I made a big bow with a buffalo check ribbon I found at Dollar Tree. Yes, I found this ribbon where they have the big fall ribbons at Dollar Tree. Hey mis amores, thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Bye!